Hey, what's going on, guys? WALLAH here. I don't want to keep too much of your time with the intro, but if you guys have not seen the TWAB that came out recently, I'm going to be talking about some really important things. I'm going to be starting off with something that's super important for those who hated sunsetting. Bungie has decided to make any weapon that can currently hit max light/power be able to go up and scale up to the highest light level every single season permanently. So basically, they took out sunsetting out of the game forever, it looks like. This doesn't mean your old weapons are coming back, but it means any weapon that can hit the max light level right now will keep going up every single season. So let's say something like a Felwinter's, that's something that will always be at the highest light level, and that will never get sunsetted. But as you can see here, they are going to tune Felwinter's and something like Warmind cells. I don't play PvE, so I have no idea what the hell this means. I think it's those balls that spawn up in PvE, but they are looking to nerf Felwinter, so that's pretty huge too. Another really big thing, this also does include Trials of Osiris, is that Bungie is only raising the power/light level by 10 each season. So as you know, every new season that comes out, you have to raise your power by 50, but now they're changing it to 10 in season 14. So starting next season, the power cap by 10 each non-expansion season. This is pretty good. So not every season you have to like take off a day of work to grind 50 light level. I'm not actually being serious, but I know people who literally just can't play Trials for the first weekend because they're down so much light level. So this is pretty nice. This is where Bungie gets into PvP. There's a lot to talk about in this, so I'm going to go step by step. First, and the biggest thing people are going to be talking about is this paragraph right here. First, in Season 15, they're going to be addressing third peaking in Trials and competitive. In these modes alone, so this does not include quick play or rumble or something, emotes will be disabled and players will be unable to pull out any third-person weapons that doesn't have ammo. They say that it is clear in most of their competitive arenas that these mechanics are being used in ways that were not intended. This is a really good fix for console players. This is probably the best thing that could have ever happened for console players, but for us PC players, this is a nightmare. Again, they said Season 15, so we still have some ways to go. But the reason why I say it's a nightmare is because we don't really have an anti-cheat at the moment, but I'm going to get to that on the bottom because Bungie does address an anti-cheat somewhat. Second thing they say is that they're going to be changing stasis and light-based subclasses in order to achieve a healthier balance of subclasses in the Crucible. This is really big because I made a lot of videos about stasis being way better than the light subclasses. So across Season 13 and 14, they're going to be adjusting stasis. So this is going to be coming pretty soon. We are in Season 13 for those who didn't know. So some of the things are going to be changing. This is huge right here. Everyone's going to love this. So they're going to be nerfing Behemoth Titan. So they're going to decrease the super damage reduction. They're going to increase super energy cost when performing light attacks. They're going to be removing freeze AoE on supercast. And they're going to reduce traveling efficiency of Shiverish Strike when slowed. So basically what this means, for those who don't know what this right here means, this means that it's no longer going to freeze people whenever you pop it. So let's say you pop the Behemoth Titan super in front of somebody. There's no longer a freeze AoE area of effect. So you're not going to get frozen whenever a Titan pops super in front of you. This was a really good change. This right here means that the Behemoth Titan can't just go around the map without using a huge chunk of their super. So now whenever they use left click, or I don't know what it is on a controller, but whenever they use that, whenever they press that like attack to fly around the map, that's going to take a lot more super energy, looks like. And also you can probably one-shot headshot the Behemoth Titan now, hopefully, just like any other super, because right now you can't one-shot headshot the Behemoth, even with like a 72 RPM sniper. So it's really strong right now. For Revenant Hunter, they're going to be decreasing Withering Blade damage and tracking. This is the shurikens, if you don't know this is the shurikens for those who don't know what a Withering Blade is. You're going to also decrease slow stacks and applied to targets. So that means, I'm assuming this means that you can no longer slow people for like 4 seconds. I think it's only going to be down to like 1.5 seconds, hopefully. So it won't be as bad as it is right now. And you no longer have the Shatter Dive damage reduction. This is really nice too. Shadebinder Warlock, they're just fixing bugs. They're not nerfing it, which is cool. I think these bugs are actually technically a buff. So this is pretty nice. This is nice. And overall, they're going to decrease the crystal shatter damage. So I'm assuming they're still looking at a Shatter Dive combo. So this is pretty cool too. Right here, they're stating that they are actually going to buff the light subclasses, like as you can see here. So anything that's underutilized, specifically, they're gonna try and buff it to make it used more often, obviously. And their goal is to make it to where stasis is still really good in PvE, but make it on par with light subclasses in PvP. So right here, this whole chunk of information for PC players is what we want to look at, especially if you play PvP. So they say, of course, gameplay balance only matters when the underlying playing field is fair, and unfortunately, cheating continues to be a significant issue. They say they're always working on maintaining security as new exploits emerge, and as always, they don't want to talk about a lot of these improvements, so that way the hackers don't really get a jump on them. They say they're aiming to nearly double the size of the Bungie game security team this year, which is nice. They've also began to regularly survey to better understand our experiences with cheating. So they say if you receive one of these surveys, please share your experiences to help them fight cheating. They have also begun a strategy of aggressive legal action. So if you guys haven't really been paying attention recently, Bungie basically has been suing a lot of these cheating websites and stuff, and they're trying to shut them down, so therefore there won't be as many cheating websites making Destiny 2 cheats. They don't want to share too much because, of course, if they say too much, the hackers will get on board and start trying to... the people that make the cheats will start... will try to get ahead of them, basically. And there's just more. They just keep going. So this is really nice. This whole chunk here is about Trials of Osiris. So they know that the Trials rewards isn't really that great so far, and the way they've made Trials just isn't that good to begin with. They're trying to improve the overall health of Trials matchmaking pool. So basically, they want more people to be playing the game, and they're going to try to do things to make people want to play Trials more often. And they're going to try to separate everyone in different skill levels. So they might step away from the card-based matchmaking, which would be pretty good. They're going to rebuild the Trials reward structure so it encourages players to stick to their active cards longer, even though they have losses on it. Because right now they do realize that whenever you do get a loss, you're going to be resetting your card after every single loss. They want to be pushing players of higher skill levels to keep going through their card even if they have a loss, and making 3 to 5 wins more achievable for those players, for the more of the casual players, which is good. And this is something that's really big for those of us that don't have a group to play with. Let's say you wake up on Sunday morning or something, and everyone's at work or whatever it may be. You can actually play. You might be able to play Trials on your own. They might add a freelance game mode for Trials, which is going to be pretty good. I don't know how I feel about this. I think it's good personally, because if I ever get on one day and I don't have anyone to play with, I could just freelance Trials. Because a lot of people are discouraged from going into the game mode because some people don't want to go on LFG or something like that. So this is pretty damn cool. I do hope they force something like game chat. I hope you have to use game chat in it just to play, because communication is really important in Trials. And they do say something about Iron Banner at the bottom, but nothing really is given to us. And then we have something here about crossplay. This right here is huge. So crossplay is coming to the masses in Season 15. So we have a release date now, which is awesome. We'll be doing some internal rollouts and alpha tests in Season 14 to prepare a widespread launch this fall. With crossplay, you'll be able to play with all your friends no matter what platform you call home. And don't worry, we won't be matching console and PC players together in Crucible unless PC players specifically invite their console friends to play with them in the PC Crucible pools. So this is something I did not expect. I actually expected Bungie to force console and PC players together. I might make a video on that later talking about why this might not be a good thing for PC specifically, but this is really good for console. These changes are pretty freaking big. I have a lot to think about, and I feel like you guys do as well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. The one thing that's still surprising to me right now is the fact that crossplay isn't going to be forced. This is something that's going to be really bad for PC because of the fact that the player base is already pretty small as is. I don't think crossplay should be forced for something like, let's say, Trials, but I feel like for quick play or something like that, maybe it should be. But again, people are going to get mad at that because they're going to say, oh, I just want to poop on console players. But either way, the fact that crossplay is coming is just really cool in itself. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Later.